Welcome everyone to Holiday Thrive Fest. I am your host today, Scott Friedman, certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, and health coach here to help you with your holiday needs. Today, we're talking about eat guilt-free during the holidays. It is a potentially rough time. A lot of eating going on, whether it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatever holiday you might celebrate. There is always a lot of eating. So I want to go over some simple tips and tricks you can use literally today to overcome the anxiety, the stress, the annoyance of feeling bad while you eat for the holidays, because it's basically unavoidable for most of us. And in the spirit of things, I got myself my little Chicago Bears holiday sweater. Yes, Chicago, Illinois, go Bears. I regret saying that. So, it is what it is. Every year is the same thing, right? So, let's dive into it today and give you as much information as you can possibly handle in this presentation. So, first and foremost, who am I? Like, who is this person talking to you? Like I said, I am a certified personal trainer. I am a certified health coach, a behavior change specialist, fitness nutrition coach, and I also have a degree in kinesiology, which is basically just a fancy way of saying exercise science. I grew up in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, so just outside Chicago, and I was a typical varsity athlete. I was a varsity bowler. Kid you not, I should have had some bowling trophies or something on here. A bowler in high school, and I was also a sprinter. That's about all I'm good for in terms of sports. So I come to this as not a natural athlete, not a natural person who's in shape all the time, as someone who actually had to work towards this their entire life. When it came to, I had to lose 20 to 30 pounds at one point. I've had to put on muscle. So I've gone through the journey of putting on and losing weight. And my specialty is mindset, motion, and momentum. And the reason I love that category so much is because what I've learned over the years, I've been doing this for about a decade now, is that you can hand someone the blueprint to success. Like, here you go, take it, and 50% will follow it and 50% won't. And my question is why? Like, why won't some people follow? Literally, here's the answer. Go do this thing over and over again, and you will see results. And many people still won't do it. So I like to attack the mindset of why we don't do certain things in order for us to get those results. Okay. And that's kind of where my specialty lies in the conversation that we're going to go into today. So, first and foremost, as we go through it, some of my favorite holiday foods. Yes, I am a trainer and a coach, and I probably eat worse than most people on the holidays. And I love it so much. On the bottom left over here, I got that's actually Thanksgiving food that my mom made. I made the cornbread, which is phenomenal. Sweet potato casserole. I mean, you're talking like delicious food. You got Halloween cupcakes, you got Christmas cookies. Actually, on Christmas, I don't really celebrate, but I do enjoy some Chinese food on Christmas. Right before they close, we get a whole bunch for a few days, and we chow down on food for just days and days while the stores are closed. So I am no stranger. I also buy those. I should have a picture of it. Those big like tins of popcorn when it has like the caramel, the white cheddar, and the butter. I buy like two of those for the family, and we just like watch movies and binge on that for the holidays. So I'm a big proponent of eating for fun on the holidays, but we're going to go over kind of what that looks like and how we can get over the guiltiness of just adding all those calories, because I have been through it myself and I've ruined many Thanksgivings, many Christmases, many Hanukkahs, whatever it is, to just feeling bad about what I was doing. So I want to make sure that no one else goes through that with some of this information. So, what you are going to learn today after this presentation is number one, two reasons you should be enjoying the holidays guilt free. You're going to learn the importance of a normal routine, one thing that I personally do to help me eat whatever I want during the holidays. And at the end, of course, we'll remind you of the free giveaways that you get by being a part of this amazing ThriveFest Summit, which we're very thankful for you to be here. So let's dive in. Paint the picture. We're going to use Thanksgiving as the holiday of choice. The reason is it's right around the corner. Halloween's already passed, so Thanksgiving kind of like right here. So we'll use Thanksgiving as the easiest example. But of course, whatever holiday you celebrate, that's what this will be applicable to. Paint the picture here. It's Thanksgiving. You get a few days off of work, maybe. You're excited. You get to spend time with family, maybe the in-laws, maybe travel across the country. I have a pretty simple thing I do myself. I just go home, very easy. But you're excited because you get some days off. You're excited because you love the turkey. You love the sweet, sweet potato casserole, but you're anxious. You have a goal. You want to lose 30 pounds. You're on this weight loss journey. You're on this new journey of, I want to be the healthier me. And there's also guilt involved in the holidays as well. So you kind of have a lot of emotions when it comes to these holidays. We're happy. Oh, I can't wait for Thanksgiving. And then when we get there, we spend the entire time feeling anxious, guilty, sad, whatever, because we ate too much food. Because it just, oh, yeah, it hurts my goals. And it's like, oh, what do I do? So you get super stressed about it. So the dreaded outcome is one of two different options. One, on the holiday itself, you stuck to your diet. You barely had any of the delicious food. I'm going to lose 40 pounds. I stuck to my diet. I'm going to have my salad. I'll have a little bit of dessert, but I'm just not going to enjoy the food. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And if that's what you choose, more power to you. The other option you usually see is you said, screw it. You ate until you are sick, consumed by guilt the next few days. You feel horrible about yourself. Okay. That's usually where I land. I used to be super strict on Thanksgiving. I'm like, I'm on a goal. I'm trying to, lose this weight. I'm trying to build muscle and the sweet potato casserole or the cornbread or I'm looking at the pecan pie in the picture there. That's not good for it. I'm going to do what I want. I'll make my own food, whatever. Look, it's not bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. Obviously, there's medical things involved. You probably should listen to any medical provider, but if that's not the case, I'm not a huge fan of that anymore. I used to be, and I've grown, I've evolved my mindset of kind of what that should look like. And on the other side, when I kind of let myself loose for a few years, I was like, okay, I don't like feeling bad the entire time either, because you overeat that one night and you feel bad for like 3 days, right? It's like, oh my God, like what do I do? So we got to find kind of that happy medium. I'm not saying you should binge eat all the food because you can, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't have any of it. There's got to be a happy middle ground. So what does that look like? How do we change the cycle of either over restriction or over binging? How do we change this so that we can actually enjoy what we're trying to do? So we got to shift our mindset. That's inherently the focus of today's presentation is how we view the holidays and our diet when it comes to living our lives. So the shift you have to make is essentially there are two separate things. First, okay, we need to understand that life is about experience. Life is not about just every little set of rules along the way. If you're going to enjoy the holidays, you want to because it's an experience in our lives. If you go through life with zero experiences, is it really a life you're trying to live? We all want to do things, whether it's go hiking, whether it's see that movie, whether it's do this or that. We want experiences, and the holidays are a great time to have those experiences with family, with friends, with whoever, because that's what we're trying to do. And understanding the positive thoughts we have about food and what we're going to do play an impact a bit on how our body reacts to the food that we eat. So let me explain. Life is about experiences. Yes, you're on a diet. Yes, you need to lose weight. Yes, no matter how you slice it. Turkey joke right there. Okay. No matter how you slice it, holiday food is unhealthy. I'm not here telling you that it's healthy. It is loaded with calories and probably really crappy ingredients. I know because I cook some Thanksgiving food and I know what's in there. And it's like, wow, there's a lot. Yes, one day can set you back a little bit. Yes, you can still enjoy it without feeling guilty. Perspective of what you're trying to do is absolutely key in this situation. Okay. So, more and more evidence indicates how we view ourselves when we're eating and how we view the food that we're eating can play an impact in our body. Okay. So, if you go into the holiday super stressed, you're like, okay, this sucks, can't do it, tired, stressed, annoyed, anxious, frustrated, like just all that stuff, that is going to have an effect on your body. For example, if you are super stressed, okay, on any given day for work or for something happened in your life, your car broke down, something happened, what happens? Your body has a visceral reaction to having stress upon stress upon stress, and your body will react in a certain way. And so the same is true with your food. If you are negative about the food you're eating, negative about what you're doing, you feel guilty, stressed, anxious, your body could possibly absorb it in a different way that's not necessarily natural for the body to do and could cause a negative effect. So, for example, what I'm saying directly is if you are super anxious, super stressed, super frustrated, and you eat all this bad food and you still feel that way, it may actually cause a negative effect after the fact of you may retain more weight because maybe you won't be as active. Your body won't digest it as quickly. Your body will do certain things because of the way the chemicals and the hormones are working inside of it. Another example of how hormones affect your body, just to kind of prove the point, is if you get a bad night of sleep, it is much easier to binge or eat more food the next day because your body is not functioning as optimally as it could. So very similar with stress. I personally have a lot of stress in my life. Don't have a good reason. I'm just a very stressed person, and that affects my stomach. On days where I am more stressed, I have a harder time eating food because my stomach does not feel good. It does not digest it well, and I get actually pretty sick on a regular basis. And so I have to focus on not being stressed when I eat, not being guilty, because when I am, it makes it eating that much harder. And I can compare it to days where I feel good. I actually can eat plenty of different foods. So balancing stress in your life is a major impact on how you digest food, how your hormones are going to function, how your body's going to function, and of course, how you're going to feel. If you're just stressed, what's the point of it all? What's the point of going through all this if you're just going to be stressed during the entire thing? So our thoughts do play a major impact on how we're doing it. And again, life's about experiences, right? We want to have a positive association, a positive experience with the holiday. So if you're constantly just, this sucks, I hate this is horrible, oh, look at me eat, oh my, I'm so guilty. It's gonna be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your body's gonna react in a way that you are telling it to react, and therefore it's going to be, oh, I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done this. Look what happened. It's because you're telling your body to do it. Not saying that you're gonna burn, let's say you eat 1,000 calories, and now that you're stressed, you'll only burn half. I'm not saying the burning necessarily changes, but how your body will react over the handful of the next few days will change based on how you're feeling and based on how everything happens within yourself and how you think about it. All right. So, which means you might as well enjoy it. Like, you might as well enjoy the food. You know you're going to have it. You might as well enjoy it because, again, experience it. If you can't enjoy what we're trying to do, then what's the purpose of doing it in the first place? That's really the concept we're trying to get away from here is like, you have to own it. And that's really the word I want to use. Own it. Own what you're going to do. If you plan to eat the food, own it. It's great. I want you to enjoy it. You should want to enjoy it. Don't be guilty. Because guess what? I put sweet potato casserole on here because, by the way, delicious. I got world famous sweet potato casserole. Hate to say it. I do, but it's amazing. I have to have every serving of it. I'll take home like containers of it and freeze it and just like eat it when I can because I love it so much. And guess what? Is that like the healthy move? No, because guess what? Sweet potato casserole is trash for you. Like, it's not healthy for you whatsoever. The amount of brown sugar and then the amount of other things, it's loaded with crap. But that's okay. I am owning that I am going to eat this food. I'm owning it, which gives me a positive reaction, a positive mindset, and I'm willing to enjoy the experience of being with this. And that's what I want to get to you is that number one, life's about experience. Okay. So enjoy the experience. It's okay to eat a little bit of bad food. Again, not saying you have to binge it like I do, which I'll show you how to do in a second if you want to do it, but enjoy it. We get so caught up in, I got to lose these last 10 pounds. I got to lose the last 40 pounds. I got to do this, that it's one day, it's 2 days. It's going to be okay. As long as you have a routine, which we'll get into, you're going to be okay. All right. So owning it because number one, positivity is better than negativity. And two, life's about experiences. You got to enjoy it. All right. So that brings me in to habits. What does that mean? Well, when you have a routine, it is easier to jump back into what you're doing. If you normally go to the gym 4 days a week, 5 days a week, if you normally meal prep for yourself 3 or 4 meals, 3 or 4 days a week, or 2 or 3 meals a day, whatever it is, if you normally do these things, it sets you up for success. A routine is having freedom. People think having a regular routine is a prison. Oh, I can only eat certain foods. Oh, I can only do this. Oh, I can only X, Y, and Z. But the reality is, most of the time, most of us have a regular routine that we are already a part of. We are creatures of habit, as it were. And so when we go into it, when you eat healthy, let's just say 80% of the time you eat healthy, that is a strong routine. You know what you like, you know how you normally eat. It is much easier to bounce back after, let's just say, a Thursday, a Friday, and half a Saturday of eating not very well for Thanksgiving, which is what I plan to do this year. It's much easier to say, okay, let's get back to it on Monday. So much easier because it's already ingrained in my lifestyle to then be able to go, I can go jump right back into it. But if you're someone who's consistently you're consistently inconsistent, well, days like this can't have a larger impact on what you want to do. If you're kind of like, oh, I go once or twice and it's on and it's off, and yeah, I kind of eat out a lot. And then, right, you already don't have a stable foundation and then you eat a lot of bad food for the holidays, that is a compounding effect against you, and then you have to work even harder to burn it off after the fact. And so having a routine going into the holiday season, going to the gym 3 to 5 times a week, right, working out for 45-ish minutes, meal prepping most of your meals, eating out only once or twice a week, like really eating healthy for the most part and cooking your own food, having that routine does wonders for these one-off holidays that everyone else seems to be like so fearful of, but does great for me because I can jump off the wagon for like 1 or 2 days and then jump right back on because I have built it in to the infrastructure, the blueprint of what I normally do, which makes it easier to do once you are kind of off and going through it. So that's why having routine is important, because when you're not motivated, when you're not inspired, when days like this are going to happen, there's going to be birthdays, there's going to be weddings, there's going to be holidays, there's going to be special potlucks at work, right? And not feeling guilty about it is important. Obviously, self-control is important too, but knowing that, you know what, look, I am good 80% of the time. If I want to have the donut, I can have the donut. If I want to have if I want to have the rice cake, not the rice cake normal time, I'm gonna have the rice cake normally with my meals. If I want to have the cake, I meant cake. When I have the cake, I'm gonna eat the cake. I want the cupcake, I'm gonna eat the cupcake. If I want the cornbread, I'm gonna eat the cornbread. Cheesecake, I actually just had cheesecake yesterday. Delicious, by the way. Love cheesecake. Send me cheesecake. I want cheesecake. It's okay because I know that's at the bottom 10% of what I normally do. So I can allow myself to have these days built into my life because I am good the rest of the time. And the reason you're probably stressed, or some of you are probably stressed, is because you normally don't know what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, which means that this is even worse than normal. And it kind of skyrockets. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to lose weight. Haven't lost weight in like 6 months. And now I've gained 3 pounds because I overate on Thanksgiving. Versus I'm on a routine. I'm slowly losing weight. And guess what? Now I'm feeling good about myself. I've seen results. Well, yeah, I might gain a little bit of weight after the fact, but I'll be able to get it right back off because I know what I'm supposed to do on Monday when I go back to work, or on Tuesday when I go back to the gym, or whatever it might be. So a routine, the habits that you have create freedom, not rigidity in your life, so you can enjoy these experiences with your family and friends, and for yourself, of course. All right. So we say, but Scott, I'm hear what you're saying. Yes, I want to enjoy myself. Yes, I know I shouldn't be as guilty because that could have a negative effect on my body. But like, this is still hard to do. I still have a goal in mind, and I have a goal in mind, and I still want to enjoy what I'm doing. So what do I do? And I love that question. Yes, let's hammer away. I'm going to give you the number one thing I have done for the last 10 years, and I feel it helps minimally my mind to make me feel better, because even I can't just go into Thanksgiving and just eat a bunch of food without any consequences. Like, I gotta do something to kind of prep myself. So this is that something, and I think that you will feel a lot better if you do this. Okay, so one of the biggest things I do for the holidays is I prepare for Thanksgiving. It's like a mission. I know it's coming on that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because I kind of have a whole weekend's worth. So I prepare in advance. Okay. So if I burn more calories a few days prior, I can then prepare for my feast. That's the plan. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's just a math equation. Okay. So if I know let's just say I start on Monday. Okay. And I want to burn an extra 200 calories a day. So maybe I do 200 extra. And I'm not saying this from a health benefit. I'm not saying this from a workout benefit. I'm saying this purely from a preparing for a feast you're going to have. This is something that I feel helps me mentally to get me going. If I burn an extra 200 calories each day, starting on Monday, that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that's 800 calories. And I eat normally on those days, eat normally. Then, except for Thursday, I have 800 extra calories to burn. We'll talk about the controversy of this in a second, but just think about it. I have 800 more calories that I have burned, which means I'll either weigh less, okay, because my caloric expenditure, or I'll just kind of have those in the tank so that mentally I go, look, I just did 800 more calories than I normally do. Everything else was the same. Therefore, I have 800 more calories to eat for Thanksgiving. I love it. I think that's great. Like I'm like, great. Usually I do like 300 to 400 a day. So I have like 12 to 1500 calories extra on Thanksgiving, and I feel a lot better. Now, does it make me eat a little bit more? Maybe, but mentally, I feel this wave of relief that just like washes over me when I do this because I feel like I put in the work, I have all this extra caloric the calories that I'm allowed to eat. Therefore, I can go guilt-free and I get to really just have a stress-free day, enjoy the food, enjoy the family, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the football teams there that are on there because I put in the work ahead of time. So if you can have all this extra calories prior to the holidays, then the reality is you can enjoy it more. Now, some people are probably screaming at the screen right now, and I get it, right? It doesn't quite exactly work this way, but minimally, you get some extra cardio. It gives you the mental comfort of what you're trying to do calorie, deficit generally, like which is a good thing overall, and it'll make it harder to eat it all back. Okay, so to actually gain a pound, an actual pound from eating from Thanksgiving, again, like our example, it takes 3,500 calories above your maintenance. My maintenance is 2,400 calories a day. So to gain 1 pound, I have to eat, what is that, 5,900 calories in one day just to gain 1 pound. I don't know about you, even with all the food there, I don't think I'm eating an actual pound above my body weight in one day. 3,500 calories above the normal 2,400 I get. Now, some people have 2,000, some people are 1,800, but still, add 3,500. That's to actually gain a pound. So when you go on the scale the next day or two and you're like 5 pounds heavier, it ain't true. It's not true because you did not eat that much extra food. I'm not telling you to eat that much extra food. So our bodies play tricks on us. And so I like to play a trick on my body. So for example, it's if I burn 800 to 1,000 calories prior to actually going to Thanksgiving. And by the way, you can do it on the day of as well. Okay. If you do it on the day of and burn 1,000 calories, which is a lot of work, but then you can have that much more. It takes that much more effort to gain a pound. And therefore, I have a lot less guilt when I'm going into it. So try it. You can use the Stairmaster. You can run. You can use I'm going to use the rower this year. Is going to be the big one for me. The rower. You can use the assault bike, the ski erg. I mean, you can use anything you want to use. Just burn some extra calories. Yeah, is the machine the most accurate thing in the world to use for calorie burn? No, but if you have an Apple Watch or, I use an Aura Ring, whatever it is, not sponsored, then it's you can use the data and say, okay, I burned an extra 600 calories today and use an estimate. It's totally okay. So at minimum, you're doing some extra cardio, which is really good for your heart. You're doing some extra work. Your body's moving more and you're going to feel better. And I highly recommend you work out on Thanksgiving Day if you can, because you're going to feel a lot better going into the food than if you were just kind of laying around all day as well. So that's kind of my advice. I do this every single year. I do this prior to Christmas. I do it prior to Thanksgiving because those are my two biggest eating holidays of the year so that I can be just guilt-free. Some other tips that you can get from this as well as we go into it is use smaller plate sizes and still enjoy the food. The visibility of a large plate your mind actually thinks, oh, wow, I can fill all this food. I want to eat all this food. Or if you have a smaller plate and fill it with food, then, oh my gosh, this is so big. How can I finish all this? So the plate dimensions you have could play a big role. So if you're not trying to binge, but you still want to eat good food, change your plate size. The plate size is another great way to visibly kind of confuse your body and your stomach to say, oh, wow, this is a lot of food. If you have the same amount of food on a small plate as you do on a large plate, if you have a small plate, it'll feel like you ate more food. Try it out. Like seriously, try it out. It'll feel like you ate more food if you have a small plate versus a large plate with the same amount of food on each thing. So that is the message for today, is to eat guilt-free. I went over the two main reasons why you should be enjoying the holidays. One, life is about experiences. You got to have fun with your life. Otherwise, it's just this drag. And it's like, why are we worried all the time? Okay. And two, positivity, being negative and guilty and regretful and stressed and anxious is no way to treat your body, and your body will have a negative reaction, which could affect how it absorbs and metabolizes all the food that you're having and could hurt you in the next few days after the fact. Okay. So enjoying it is huge. The importance of a routine, it builds freedom. You can create freedom and not even worry about these days inherently because you know that 80% of the time you are on fire and you are doing a great job. And then, of course, preparing for the holidays. We talked about that as well. Look, just got to prepare. If you want to burn a few extra calories that day, go for it. And knowing that it takes 3,500 above your regular maintenance to to gain any weight whatsoever. So all of this is phenomenal. I hope something on here stuck with you, and you're like, yes, I want to do this, or yes, oh my gosh, thank you for saying it. I've been doing this for a long time. My clients love doing this. I love doing this, and these are things we have to change the mental paradigm in our brain of being guilty and stressful because we enjoyed a meal. Now, again, can you overdo it? 100% you can overdo it. And look, you got to face the consequences of your action. But what I'm saying is if you just eat a regular meal, don't think about it as this binge effect that you have and just enjoy the food in front of you, you should be able to enjoy the food in front of you. So if you enjoyed this presentation, please listen to the other speakers as well because they have some phenomenal content. But if you're looking for more information like this on fitness mindset, here's some ways to reach me. Scott at scottspeaksfitness.com is my email. Instagram handle is Scott Speaks Fitness, and I do a podcast that has 3 to 5 episodes a week, short bursts on mindset, motion, and momentum called The Power of Progress. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the holidays. I hope you get to eat whatever you want to eat, being guilt-free, reduce that stress. There's plenty of things to be stressed about in this world, and eating on Thanksgiving, eating on Christmas, eating on Hanukkah, eating on whatever you celebrate should not be one of them. And by the way, if you still choose to be super strict, you're like, I would rather be strict than maybe revert back on my diet a little bit, go for it. That's also fine. Own whatever decision that you make. Owning it is one of the most important things you can do so that you can live the experience, enjoy yourself, enjoy what you're doing, and happy holidays.